There are criminals, and then there are anomalies. Individuals so unpredictable, so unbound by logic or fear, that even the systems built to contain them begin to crack at the edges. Tonight we enter the mind of a man who turned Gotham's streets into a living experiment. An experiment on chaos. A man known only by one name, the Joker. But this is not the clown you grew up with. Not the colorful prankster of comics. Not a random madman with a gun. This is Heath Ledger's Joker, the most terrifying, most intelligent, and most psychologically accurate interpretation ever put to film. A man without an identity, without a past, without a weakness. A man who understands one thing better than anyone else. People are only as good as the world allows them to be. The camera slowly zooms in on a desk filled with crime scene photos. Burn marks, explosive residue, degloving injuries, scars carved into smiling shapes. The mask. The first time we meet him, he's wearing cheap clown paint. Unassuming, almost pathetic. A man hiding in plain sight, blending into the background during a bank robbery he orchestrated with surgical precision. He speaks no lines. He shows no emotion. He moves like a ghost in daylight. Because before the makeup, before the laughs, before the scars, he was a man who learned how to disappear. Every criminal leaves a trail. He didn't. No fingerprints, no DNA, no identity. Nothing but a Glasgow smile that stretches across his face like a permanent cruel joke carved into his skin. 2 scars, 2 stories, 2 lies. But each time he tells the story of how he got them, he's testing the person listening. He changes the details. He changes the tone. He changes the meaning. Because the scars aren't the tragedy, they're the weapon. They force people to look, to stare, to confront discomfort so intense that they lose focus for just a second. And that second is when the Joker strikes. The philosophy of Heath Ledger's Joker does not want money. He burns it. He does not want power. He mocks it. He does not want followers. He sacrifices them. What he wants is control through chaos. But not the chaos of a child throwing a tantrum. No, this is calculated chaos, cold chaos. Chaos with a thesis. The thesis is simple. Fear exposes truth. You can pretend to be moral. You can pretend to be noble. But when the world collapses around you, when your structure, your wealth, your protection disappears, what remains? Ledger's Joker believes that what remains is the real you. Not the mask you wear to fit in, not the rules you pretend to follow. The real you. And to prove his point, he uses the same strategy over and over. Create a crisis. 2. Give people a choice. 3. Watch their morality crumble. The fairy experiment. Harvey Dent's fall. Even Batman himself. Every person Joker touches is forced to confront a version of themselves they didn't know existed. A mind without limits. To understand this Joker, you need to understand what he is not. He is not insane, not psychotic, not out of control. If he were, he wouldn't be able to execute plans with mathematical perfection. Every bomb placed with intention, every hostage switched with precision, every lie crafted with purpose. Ledger's Joker displays traits of narcissistic personality disorder, antisocial behavior, high-functioning psychopathy, identity dissociation, Machiavellian intelligence, but none of these define him completely. He is not a diagnosis. He is not a symptom. He is an idea, a philosophy with a face, a message painted in grease and scars. I'm not a monster, he says. I'm just ahead of the curve. And he believes it. The scars as symbols to the Joker, pain is not something to avoid. Pain is something to use. His scars are not reminders of trauma. They're symbols of rebirth, a shedding of the person he once was, a person weak enough to be hurt, manipulated, or controlled. When he carved those scars or allowed someone else to, it wasn't an accident. It was a transformation. He became something that no longer feared judgment, or ridicule, or rejection. Because once your greatest insecurity becomes your identity, no one can use it against you ever again. That is the power of the Joker. Not the bombs, not the guns, not the knives. The power is in the acceptance of chaos, the freedom of having nothing left to lose, the strength that comes from being truly unpredictable. Batman fights with rules. Joker fights with none. And in that imbalance, he becomes unstoppable.